Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser G. It's time to do a recap of last night's episode of It. Welcome to Derry, episode 5. Yes! And I was right. Pennywise has returned.
Y'all ready for this?
Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser G. And as always, when I do my recaps, there will be some minor spoilers and some major spoilers. And this, particularly what happened in this episode. So you have not seen last night's episode of It, Welcome to Derry, stop the video, go to HBO Max, watch episode 5, and then come back and watch the rest of my recap. You have been warned. Now, as I stated before when I began my recap, that I believed that Pennywise would make his first appearance at least by the 5th episode, and after last night's prediction was correct, and Pennywise has returned, and what an appearance Pennywise makes in this episode. As a matter of fact, lots of things happened in this particular episode. I'll save the main part of the storyline later on, but I would say a little minor things that happen is that we see that Hank is on his way to Shawshank State Prison. That's Ronnie's father. But unfortunately, he does not make it to prison. And we see later on that the bus crashed. All the everyone's, I think, was dead. They didn't say anything about it, but they did say that one of the prisoners, Hank, was able to escape. We find out later on, Hank is hid, and I believe I forgot her name. We see that Hank meets up with Ingrid, and she is the one that he's having an affair with. They go out into the woods and they don't know what to do. And she says, I know who we can have, someone we can trust. And she goes on ahead and meets Charlotte. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see where that dynamic of the show goes. But the main story of the main plot of this episode is that we see both that the Air Force and the kids head down to his sewers in order to confront Pennywise, and they both have different reasons to why they want to confront Pennywise. Now, as far as the Air Force is concerned, now that Sean knows the location of the pillars, that's something that we learned in last week's episode. He had Leroy Holloran and the rest of the squad head down to the house on 29 Newport Street, where we know that the well that we saw in the movies built into the house will lead the squad into the sewer system and locate all of the pillars in order and attempt to contain Pennywise. Good luck, guys. You ain't going to get it. And of course, it leads into a disaster. We see that Holloran somehow, Pennywise gets into Holloran's mind and he shows him his greatest fear when he confronts his dead grandfather, who we know he was very abusive to his grandmother and to him. And he has a box, which leads us to go back to Dr. Sleep. And of course, he threatens to open the box. And obviously, whatever's in that box scares Holloran to death. As we see at the end of the episode, we don't know what was in that box, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to do any good for Holloran. Obviously, it's no surprise that the soldiers didn't know what they're going for. We see a very nightmarish version. Uncle Sam, when two soldiers get confronting him, and Uncle Sam's "I want you," which I thought was pretty funny and pretty frightening at the same time. Yeah, so that whole army thing was a big disaster. Not only that, we see that Leroy and Polly, they're in the sewers, and Leroy sees a nightmarish version of his wife Charlotte, which is nothing more than Pennywise. And of course, that also leads to disaster later on in the episode, which I'll talk about later. Now, Marge, who has recovered from her injuries, joins the rest of the children. That's, Will, Rich, uh, Rich, and Lily. And they are shocked to see that Manny is still alive. What? He's alive. And not only that, he convinces them that Phil is still alive. This allows Lily to say that if we can show that Manny is still alive, we can get Ronnie's father Hank out of jail. Yeah, way to go. So she forces them to go into the sewers so that way they can find Phil. And unfortunately, this leads to another disaster. The children eventually finally confront Pennywise in person in a grand fashion. And unfortunately, when the children try to run away from Pennywise, they are separated from Lily, and Lily has is all by herself. And Pennywise is about to feast on her soul, but something stops him. It's one of the pillars that Rose gave to Talon. Earlier in the episode, he dropped it while running into the sewer. She finds it, it stops Pennywise codes, and she picks it up. So it's going to be interesting to see what Lily is going to do now that they actually have a weapon to use against Pennywise. And unfortunately, after Leroy had his encounter with his wife in Pennywise form, he sees the children running at him, and he thinks it's another vision. He's about to shoot his son when Paulie sees, I see them too, but Leroy doesn't hear them. So, unfortunately, he steps in front of the gun and Leroy shoots Paulie dead. Oh my God. But fear not. When Holland finally exits the sewer, he actually sees dead Paulie. So, there's no wondering what's going to happen now that the box inside of his mind is open. I'm pretty sure Hollerman is probably going to freak out. So, it's pretty interesting to see where that's going to go. So, like I said, lots of crazy shit happened tonight's episode. I've only had 3 more episodes left, so I'm pretty sure Pennywise is going to up the ante now that he has revealed his true self, and I'm pretty sure he's going to go after the kids. I'm pretty sure Sean is not going to be happy with Rose, and we're going to see what's going to happen with their relationship as lots of crazy stuff will continue. And so there you have it, my horror fans. That is my video and recap of episode 5 of It. Welcome to Derry. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, it really helps out with that YouTube algorithm. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. That way, you'll be notified anytime when I put a new video such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember horror rules. And I see you in my next video. Guys, stay safe out there.